What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some more commentary regarding Destiny and the Taken King. And we are just getting all kinds of information coming at us really fast today and this week regarding the upcoming expansion for Destiny, which I've basically been calling the real version of Destiny. As I'd stated in one of my earlier videos, it just at this point feels like Year 1 of Destiny was a giant beta test to get ready for the Taken King. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. We're actually going to be talking about the fact that Peter Dinklage is being completely replaced as the voice actor of the Ghost. Now we know that Peter did the voice acting work for Vanilla Destiny, and obviously he did not come back and do any voice acting for The Dark Below or for House of Wolves, most likely because his fee was probably much more than Bungie could afford or Activision would allow them to spend at this point. But they are bringing in a new voice actor, Nolan North. He is going to be voice acting the Ghost from here on out, apparently through the lifetime of Destiny. So that's going to be very interesting. Now, Nolan North is a fairly well-known and fairly decent voice actor. He actually has done voice acting work for the Uncharted series, for Halo 3 ODST, also for Assassin's Creed, and a little bit on the Fall of Cybertron game, which was a Transformers game by High Moon that I absolutely loved. He did several different characters in that game, and it was very hard to tell the difference between them, so I think he's going to do a pretty good job. He's said in the short little interview they did with him for Game Informer that he is basically going to try to inject some personality into the Ghost and make it its own character, which is pretty good because, let's all be honest, the Ghost is probably one of the most disappointing aspects of the game. Its delivery, and unfortunately Peter Dinklage's voice acting was rather bland and kind of dry as we went through the game, and he's really your only source of information in the game as you go through it. So it was definitely a disappointing thing about Destiny. This is, I guess, some good news for the game. And what they're going to be doing, though, is really kind of funny. They're going to go back and they're having Nolan North redo all of the original dialogue that Peter Dinklage did for the game at launch. So if you go back and play through the campaign for levels 1 to 20, or however they're going to have it structured now, you will basically have Nolan North voicing your Ghost. And I believe even if you've already played through all that, if you go back and replay any of those missions, you're not going to be able to hear Peter Dinklage anymore. So after Taken King comes out, Peter Dinklage will basically be pretty much completely gone from the game of Destiny. So, like I said, very interesting. And I wanted to kind of clear something up because I'm kind of getting tired of, I don't know if it's misinformation or people just don't know any better, but I see a lot of Peter Dinklage hate going on in the comment sections of some of these articles where they're talking about Nolan North taking over the position. Also, a lot of people are doing videos about this, and they're talking about how Dinklage's voice acting was so terrible and bad and bland and all this other stuff. And, the comment sections, again, are filled with a lot of Peter Dinklage hate. Even when Angry Joe did his Destiny review where he basically tore Destiny in shreds, he made some comments about it sounded like, Peter Dinklage was on sedatives the day he did his voice recording. But this is not entirely true, and this is one of the reasons you guys really have got to pay attention to all the stuff that's going on with Destiny. If you go back to 2013, and I will definitely link it in the description below, this is before all the stuff happened with Joe Staten leaving Bungie and all the other stuff, when Destiny was really being hyped through the ceiling and really looked like it was going to be this amazing game. They did several developer commentaries, and they did one in particular that always sticks with me, and it's one where a couple of developers went and played through the Cosmodrome, and they all kind of met outside. It showed one of the characters getting dropped off by their ship. It's a scene a lot of people have talked about, saying, why don't we see ourselves getting actually dropped off by our ship in front of other people? And they go through, it's also where they talked about trading and gambling and other stuff and all this stuff that obviously did not make it into the final build of Destiny. Now, one of the funny things is when they bring up the Ghost, they're going through the Cosmodrome, and of course it's all wrecked and everything, and he makes this kind of funny comment about, we always visit such nice places, and he's kind of got this like smart ass attitude, and he's really funny. And they even get to one point, a lot of you guys will remember the very first stage you play in the game where you are going into the Cosmodrome, and of course the lights are all turned off and the gate's blocking you and you can't get through. And then you have to basically turn on the power, and you have to send your ghost to go do it. Then of course you get ambushed by the Fallen. Well, you know, in the game that came out, he just says some kind of boring lines about, oh, we got to go turn on the systems. I got all this stuff working against me, and he just kind of sounds really bland about it. If you actually watch that developer commentary where they go play through that first section of the Cosmodrome, he makes this hilarious comment about how he's going to go rub two sticks together to start a fire to basically get light. It's really hilarious. Then at the end of that, he adds on all this like kind of smart-ass sci-fi jargon about by rubbing two sticks together, I mean turning on the internal capacitors for blah blah blah. And it's really funny, and he says it with this very dry and kind of witty sense of humor. And there's all kinds of examples of his dialogue throughout this developer commentary. So it's very clear in the initial build of Destiny that Peter Dinklage did some absolutely really good voice acting work. What happened to it is the big mystery, because when the game came out, he sounds absolutely nothing like what he did in the early builds that they showed off for Destiny. And of course, you're never going to get a straight answer out of Bungie about what actually happened. But I kind of wanted to make this video to clear that up, and like I said, I will link to that initial developer commentary. I believe that was sometime in 2013, before E3, when Destiny was really being super hyped. And I want you guys to go watch that, because it shows that obviously Dinklage, when he first did the voice acting for the game, he was into it, and he made the effort, and it really sounded really good. I'm not sure why we didn't get that version in the final game of Destiny, because that would have made, it would have made a huge difference, but it would have made a pretty big difference in terms of the initial response to it. So, like I said, just kind of wanted to clear that up, because I think there's a lot of misinformation out there that, like, everybody's acting like, I see all these comments about this, oh, Peter Dinklage just mailed it in, and Bungie should get a refund, and they shouldn't have had to pay him for his voice acting work, it was so bad. But that's not actually the case, guys. Initially, it seems like and sounds like Peter Dinklage did some very good voice acting work for Destiny, and for whatever reason, Bungie decided to scrap it and made him re-record the lines and redo the dialogue in that completely bland and boring tone that we got in the final version of the game. So again, like I said, guys, you gotta do your research, look around, and get the full story with Destiny, because there's a lot of stuff that, if you just kind of look around in the internet and everything, you're not gonna get the full picture. So I just wanted to clear that up. Now, when it comes to Nolan North, I don't know how much of a difference it's actually going to make. Bungie saying they got a guy now doing the voice acting, for the rest of Destiny or whatever happens. I guess it'll be more linear and make it so they don't have these situations like with, a lot of people wonder with Dark Below in the House of Wolves, well, why doesn't our ghost have any dialogue whatsoever? Like, why is he just not even talking to us anymore? So at least now they'll have that continuity. Personally, I had an idea a long time ago for the ghost and how they could make it better. I really thought it would have been cool if they would have just kind of gotten a bunch of random voice actors to do the ghost. And I thought what they would have been able to do, which would have been really cool, and of course this is like a fantasy world, this would never happen. But they could have had all these different voice actors record lines for the ghost, and then you could actually get a DLC kind of like ghost package where, you get like a ghost voice. That's actually something I wouldn't mind spending money in a microtransaction type form for, is to get, as long as it was priced appropriately. I'm not talking about $20 for 3 dance moves. I'm talking about like, $5 for like maybe you get 3 or 4 different ghost voices and maybe some ghost shells. But how cool would it be if, like, say you got like Morgan Freeman to do your ghost, or like Peter Cullen, who voices Optimus Prime in Transformers. That would be just absolutely awesome if you could get something like that for your ghost. So I really wish they had implemented something like that in the game. Maybe that's something they could do down the road. But anyways, that's pretty much the general gist of this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, definitely go check out that developer commentary from 2013. It'll open your eyes to a lot of stuff that was there with Destiny in the beginning that for some reason did not make it into the final build of the game, and it will really make you question exactly what happened with Bungie and Activision between 2013, when the game looked so good, and what we actually got at release. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed this short little video regarding the new voice actor coming in to do the ghost in Destiny. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about all this stuff that's going on with the game. if you think it's going to make any difference at all that we're going to get, you know, this new voice actor for our Ghost. I personally don't think it's going to matter all that much, but you never know. It might be pretty cool. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Hope you're having a great day. I will see you again next time.